Hey everyone, Mr. Sujano here with your all stuff, no fluff news. Let's get started. Alright, to kick things off, today I am outside again. Now I've seen a number of comments in a number of previous videos wondering why I'm inside so much, and it's weird seeing me inside so much. So here I am where I belong, in my natural element, the beautiful outdoors. Now this weekend, Mrs. Sujano and I are staying at a really cool cabin. This is Cabinscape and it's in the Kawarthas. And I do recommend checking them out. It's a really cool location, and the outdoors, well, you know, it's absolutely beautiful. So if you want to see more of the cabin and see more of our adventures, head on over to Mrs. Sujano's YouTube channel, Sujano's Travel, or even her Instagram, Sujano's Travel, and you can see even more stuff there. And if you do hear engines revving here and there throughout the video, there are a number of people on snowmobiles relatively nearby just going for a rip, so you might hear them too. It's an absolutely amazing day out. So first up on the docket here, we're talking about The Legend of Zelda: Ocarina of Time. And if you're a fan of the game, and a fan of modding, and a fan of Majora's Mask elements within Ocarina of Time, you're gonna like this news here. It does seem there's a brand new mod out for the Ocarina of Time that introduces the masks from Majora's Masks, the transformations. So the Deku Scrub, the Goron, the Zora, and even the Fierce Deity. Now I have not checked out this mod yet, but it is on my list of things to do, and it does look like the mod is a little bit game breaking in a lot of different situations. There are some YouTube videos on this one. I'll drop a link, and if you are interested and wanted to learn more about it, like everything we talk about, links are within the GitHub link in the bottom of the description below. I don't hide my sources. This one though, I think this will be awesome, and I'm really curious to see if this gets integrated with randomizers and maybe an OOTMM randomizer. Who knows? Let me know your thoughts about this one in the comments below. And speaking about N64 stuff, next up here we're talking about Shadowman. And it does seem that there has been a Shadowman prototype card that was found and dumped. And there's also gameplay that's being showcased online right on YouTube as well. If you are interested in seeing this one in action, Hard for Games has you covered, and you know where the links are. But moving on, and next up here, we're talking about an emulation front end, ESDE, which stands for Subscribe to Mr. Sujano, or Emulation Station Desktop Edition, depending on how you wanted to interpret that. Anyways, ESDE got a brand new companion app that works really well with dual screens. There's a number of videos showcasing the companion app in action, and again, I got you covered and you know where the links are. Anyways, here it looks really interesting, and given the rise of the popularity and stuff like the AYN Thor and all of the other handhelds from Anbernic and Ioneo and all of them, Retroid, I can't not mention them either. Anyways here, I really think overall that this is going to be a really popular add-on for ESDE, and I think a lot of people will take advantage of it. Let me know your thoughts about that one in the comments below. It is up on GitHub and already available. However, and the big however here, it's still pretty early on, so there may be some bugs and issues with it, and I'm guessing it's going to get better with time. And on a quick side note as well, and I think I forgot to mention this one, and it is worth pointing out, this is for Android handhelds, not Linux-based handhelds. And speaking about Android handhelds, next up here we're talking about TouchHLE, which is basically a high-level emulator for iPhone OS on Android. And TouchHLE got a brand new update and made a lot of games more compatible with it. So at the time of filming, the latest and greatest release is version 0.2.3, the Happy New Year release. And they say here compatibility has grown from dozens of games to over 300 apps with 3+ star support. This is absolutely massive, and there are some heavy-hitting titles on there. There's even FIFA on there. I mean, taking a look at the games list, and there's stuff in here that you might even be shocked with. I mean, Driver, Crash Bandicoot Nitro Kart 2, there's Assassin's Creed, there's Heroes of Sparta 2, a lot of stuff, Battlefield Bad Company 2, and even more. Like, there is a lot of great stuff on here. Next up, we're shifting from Android and iOS to macOS and talking about Xbox 360 emulation on macOS with Xenia. Now, we've talked about this one in a previous video or two, but there is someone who is currently trying to port it over to macOS, and it seems they're making significant progress. It is worth pointing out this thing has been vibe coded, but at the same time, it doesn't seem like people really care as long as it works on macOS. Anyways, here it does seem like certain games are at least starting to boot, like Gears of War, Halo 3, Grand Theft Auto 4, and even more. However, booting does not mean playable, and they say in theory it could potentially be ported over to iOS. And if that is the case, that would be huge. But again, with iOS, you have that whole JIT problem. And speaking about stuff being vibe coded, kinda, next up here, we're talking about Microsoft. And anyways, well, this is trending. MicroSlop is trending online right now. And it turns out, and this is being reported in a whole bunch of different places, Microsoft's CEO is now blogging about AI slop. The CEO wants everyone to move beyond the arguments about AI slop, and that has kind of backfired in the biggest of ways for them. So if I'm not mistaken, here's the quote: "We need to get beyond the arguments of slop versus sophistication and develop a new equilibrium in terms of our theory of the mind that accounts for humans being equipped with these new cognitive amplifier tools as we relate to each other." What a mouthful, and I can absolutely see why MicroSlop is trending. Let me know your thoughts about that one in the comments below. And on a side note here, without going on too much of a tangent, I do want to point out that I can see AI being used for good, but I can also see a whole lot of AI just being used in the worst ways possible, it being exploited in the worst ways possible. And that's what I'm currently seeing, and I don't agree with that aspect of it. Anyways, I'll just close the jar on that can of worms and move on. And speaking about moving on, next up here, we're talking about Nintendo 3DS emulation with Azahar. And Azahar just released a brand new beta, version 21.23.4. Beta 3 is their latest and greatest release. In this update, there's a big fix here for Linux. They fixed an issue where attempting to use the Vulkan renderer on a system with an AMD graphics card and MESA 25.3.2 or later would result in an instant crash. Next up, we're talking about GPD and the GPD Win 5. And Digital Foundry has a really interesting new article titled "GPD Win 5 brings PS5 class performance to PC handhelds." And I would say this is probably worth a read, or if you're more interested in watching YouTube videos, they've got a YouTube video about it as well. Now, for those who may not be aware, I mean, we've talked about the GPD Win 5 in a number of videos. It's the handheld from GPD that does feature the AI Max Plus 395. It's an absolute beast of a chip. Anyways, here, it seems it's rivaling the PS5 in performance mode. Now, realistically, though, I would say the PS5 beats it. I'm not going to say it's better than a PS5 and have some sort of clickbait video about it. I don't think it's better than a PS5. But at the same time, I would say the big takeaway here is this is a real bright shining star for the future of gaming handhelds. I mean, this looks really good overall. This performance out of a frickin' handheld, I think that's amazing. And I'm really looking forward to seeing the future of high-powered gaming handhelds and what they plan on offering, provided RAM prices and storage don't completely screw that up. And last up here, we're talking about game fan translations. Now, we've been talking about game fan translations quite a bit on this channel recently. I mean, with Interpreter releasing, and we've talked about that in a couple previous videos. Anyways, here, there's a brand new video from Emulation, who has the monthly game fan translation recap for December. There are some games we've talked about in previous videos, and there are some games we did not talk about that I completely missed. Emulation has everything timestamped in that video and everything organized so you can see what systems as well these games are for, if there's specific systems and games you're interested in. Overall, I love watching these videos on a monthly basis from Emulation, and I really hope they continue on this series. But that is all I've got for you in this one. As always, this one was straight to the point, all stuff and no fluff. I saw a couple of geese flying. I didn't get them on camera though, and well, it's the middle of winter, so good luck trying to get fluffs on camera. Anyways, we talked about a bunch today. Feel free to discuss anything we talked about in the comments below. If you like this video, leave a like. If you didn't like this video, leave a like. Hit that subscribe button, check out my other videos. Don't tempt fate, save your state.